What is this mind and body? This is what we call it. This is the body, and the mind is the mind that gives some sort of information, intelligence, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, to help the brain function to keep the body alive. Something like that. I'm not a biologist, a neurologist, or whatever, but there are apparently 3 parts to this. Some say 4 parts, some say a billion parts, some say 1 part. But let's look at it. The ego's representation is the body is the form, the flesh, the thing that is operating to keep you, whatever you are, alive. So are you the body, or are you that what is the body is keeping alive? Secondly, what keeps the body alive is the brain. Okay, the brain functions and as a transmitter of life, of consciousness, and keeps it moving throughout this body for a period of time before it fades and disintegrates. And then we have this mind. No one really discusses the mind. We just take it for granted. The body and the brain are the most important 2 things, because the body and brain are the vessel so that this mind can flow freely. The consciousness through the brain and the mind through the body can flow freely for what we call a period of time in a assumed real world, a real universe, as a temporary real body, and then we die. Everything dies, everything shuts down. Consciousness shuts down, brain shuts down, body shuts down, mind shuts down, world shuts down, universe shuts down. Very, very simple and basic. That's what takes place after birth. Yes? And even in the Bible, God says, gave birth to man, gave birth to woman, gave birth to planet, gave birth to everything. So God existed before birth, apparently in the Bible. Why did God do this, you see? We're only interested in finding experiences of life, experiences about this body, experiences about the mind, experiences about the nature, the world, experiences about God, spirit, soul. We're only interested in the experiences. But no one questions that what was before. Why? Why? Why did God give itself birth, or consciousness give itself birth? Why did it give itself birth to you and animals and all other species that have been on this planet and aliens or whatever? Why? Science says it was a colossal mistake from the universe that held every infinite possibility, and suddenly it exploded within, and beyond this darkness appeared this light to show what was beyond this darkness as this. So it was a mistake. In the Bible it says it was an intent to experience life. But all of this is information and research and passed down theories and beliefs and experiential moments from many, many previous and living saints and sages. Do you know why, though? Have you discovered why? Forget about the world. Forget about the past, the sages. Forget about God. Forget about the experiences. Forget about knowing what's coming next. Have you went backwards into that place of Rumi? Have you experienced why, how, where, and what took place to give this birth? The speaker on thousands of videos have tried to reflect that moment. But of course, it's not that people are not interested, it's just that we're interested in what comes after, you see? And that's perfectly okay, because I'm interested now in what is going to come once this body goes. Even though these experiences of before time, before life, before consciousness was glimpsed at, like Rumi, not able to poetically describe what Rumi describes, but in complete adoration and complete confirmation and gratitude to Rumi for doing it so beautifully and getting so many people interested. No one questions what happens before birth. That what happens before birth reveals that what will happen when the body dies. But it serves no purpose while you're alive in a body. It serves no gains, attributes, knighthoods, wealth, monetary gains, consistent pure bliss throughout the rest of this body's life. There is only peace. You see, what happened before was peace. What happened before birth is peace. That's all you can say. It's not about you being there in peace or the world being in a heavenly paradisial peace. It was peace. Can your mind describe peace? Of course it can. The ego can describe hundreds of definitions of peace, Let's get together, peace, peace man. Yeah, or quiet solitude. But this peace is beyond all these ideas and ways and thinking of what peace can be. And what is revealed is that throughout this body's life, before experiencing this moment, this birth, this glimpse into the before life peace, that it was always looking for peace. And that's what every single human being does, every single day, using a mind, trying to find some sort of pacification. Just a space, just give me time, just give me a moment, just give me, a glass of wine in front of the fire, just give me a holiday, just give me some space, just give me all that. I would sacrifice all that for this one moment of peace. So science and its theory with the Big Bang, quite acceptable. Because if you're at peace and if you're in your home and you're having such a wonderful time and everything is just incredibly peaceful and wonderful and happy and content, and there's a bang outside the window and you look outside and there's a big fire, your peace has been broken for something like this Big Bang. My God, there's a hole. It's like the hole in the Titanic. When the ship realized it had a hole, everyone ran to see what it could do. It was fear. It was, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. And this is what this human life is. To live in fear of not ever recovering that peace again. And when all bodies go, meaning this, whatever dwells within this body that is trying to reveal itself, when it has seen through all bodies, when it needs no more bodies to recover that peace, is the return to peace. In science, they say, well, all the universe has to explode and disappear, or somewhere where this Big Bang, this hole, some souls are, trying to hammer it up, close it up, plug it up, stop the light coming out. Because if this Big Bang is true, theory is true. But this is not happening out here, it's happening within darkness, appearing as if it's being projected out here. And in the Bible itself, so God says in Revelation, there'll be many battles, feuds, before God wraps it all up and says, you know what, end of, let's go back to peace. So it is with great empathy for some who has experienced this profound peace to realize that every human being is struggling. Every human being, even the most richest human being, monetarily rich, is struggling to recover that peace. And we have glimpses of it. Work's over. Thank God I'm home. And some, like the speaker and Rumi, and this is not an egoistic thing. You know, there's no accolade or recognition required here. Please, please, please find the peace. You know, that's all you have to do is find the peace. Okay, and it's through that removal of the fear that this is all happening, whether in a Big Bang theory or no. You see the explosion outside your home and you close the curtains. You deny it because it's a dream. Because inside the home everything is okay. Inside God everything is okay. We're appearing as if we're external from God, but we're inside God, looking through the eyes of God, thinking, oh my God, look what's happening out here. Gee, this cannot be true. Oh my God, what's going on? And every now and then, oh, I can't put up with this. This is far too much. I need some peace. Let's go home for a glass of wine. Let's go and book a holiday. Let's go and find a moment. And we have glimpses of it in deep sleep. But it's not enough in deep sleep. We want to recognize the peace. And it can only be done through an enlightened state of denying what is taking place, overcoming this fear that does not exist. There is not such a thing as fear. But it's okay for this speaker to say that, because you have to go through this life. Each one of us has to go through this life. What happens when this... You follow Rumi. Ask Rumi. What happened after Rumi saw it? I can only say, I have no fear of dying. I have no fear of living. I have no fear of birth, rebirth. I have no fear of samsara life, nirvana life. I have no fear, because this fear has disappeared. And it's been replaced by this presence, this awareness, this all-encompassing peace, this beautiful one moment contented livingness. It's a flat line, you see. In that hospital machine, when boom, 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 flat line is alive. It still makes a sound. It still makes a sound. It still knows it's alive. Each body that dies knows it's dying. The one inside does not die. It continues to live with another frequency, with another bandwidth. The body eventually says, okay, I'm gone. No more. No information, no mind, no recognition. But the flat line continues to operate in peace. And true, beautiful, tranquil, profound peace. That's what we're all looking for. And that's what we are within. And it takes a few speakers like Rumi to say, this is okay. Everything is okay. But we cannot hypnotize and take away that pain, that suffering, that moments of, oh God, this is so hard today. Because each one of us is on this journey. We're all working in this Big Bang thing to try and shore up and get everything back in place and plug up the hole. And each one will get back into the hole quicker than other ones. Because there's work to be done out here. So there's no teaching required. No, All of this is just hopeful, saying, please, work hard, do what you have to do, find that moment. Don't do this. Don't become enlightened. Don't become non-dual if that's not what it is. But there's sometimes no choice when consciousness like this one had no choice. The consciousness just plucked this one on and says, time you were coming back home. You're useless out here. You're doing no good out here. And you think that's a deformation of your soul, but there's a deformation of your mind, because when your mind, oh my God, I'm useless. I'm so offended. But the soul says, I don't have to do any more of this. I'm free. I can return to that peace that is never not here.